Alright, hello guys. So this is video 0. This will be our first video on how to take your high quality modern day mogul skier and turn him into a old school powder skier. Really what we're talking about is, I was thinking for a better name for old school powder skiing, and I think I'm going to call it high quality powder skiing. So if you look at just this kind of, I just Googled powder skiing images, right, and you get this variety, and this is an excellent variety because it shows us different techniques in powder skiing and they're equipment-based techniques. So modern day powder skiing, people ski on a wide rocker camper ski, and I'll have a video that describes what rocker camber and width do for the skier and why that physically allows a skier to use different technique. But the bottom line, what we're looking at here is the modern day powder skier looks a lot like this, and they do a big hockey stop type turn. It's called a smear turn. You can think of it as carving on a groomer. The technique is essentially the same as carving on a groomer with a pair of shape skis, except that because the surface isn't rigid like a groomed surface, there's not bite on the edge. So you get the rotational inertia of a turn, and the momentum of the skier also goes down the slope. So instead of having a turn that's a discrete carve, you have a turn that's smeared, so it's like a sliding carve, if you will. And you end up looking like this. And this is what a lot of modern powder skiers, this is the best kind of shot they put together, is that from the way the snow hits their bodies, that it largely doesn't. They're spraying it off the side in their turns. And what happens is that once there's about 4 to 6 inches of new snow, that's all modern powder skiers need to feel like they're skiing deep powder is 4 to 6 inches. Once it goes beyond 6 inches, it's just bragging rights. It doesn't actually aid them in any way because they're not touching past 6 inches in depth. Particularly the wider the ski, the less depth they need of snow. So you can see in their technique, and I'll scroll down here in a second, you'll see some people doing more of the high quality powder skiing that I'm talking about, and the technique is evidently different in body position. So in this modern day technique, you can see the skis are far apart, snow is sprayed largely off to the side with a lot of force. Arms tend to be kind of goofy, with one often in the snow kind of trailing. This is another good example where he's really struggling to make a good looking shot. I'm sure the photographer was like, you got to skate through this zone and I'll take the picture right here and you got to make it look good. So this guy's really struggling. I mean, you look at, I don't know what angle the camera's at. It's clearly at some angle, but it looks ridiculous. It looks uncomfortable. So when you get above 4 to 6 inches, a modern day powder skier will kind of look like this if they're lucky. This guy's probably about to crash, which is partly why it looks like this. But you can still see he's dropped an arm. He's kicking snow all the way down to here, and that's how you know it's actually a J turn. It's just there's so much snow, and it's lighter snow that a little bit is cresting over the tip of his ski, and it gives him a look of like a high-quality powder skiing, but he's actually not doing that. So powder skiers still want more snow, not less snow, and this gives them that. Then that's probably why it gives them this kind of look. Here's another example of somebody who's doing modern day skiing technique, powder skiing technique, and you can see again the arms are goofy, legs are goofy. I'm not even sure what he's skiing on. It looks like it's breaking up as he's skiing through it. So these next series of 4 shots, these illustrate kind of that high quality powder skiing we're talking about. Here you can see the turn shape is very rounded and uniform between turns. The snow, instead of being kicked out to the side, is still off to the side a little bit, but a lot of it's coming over the front of the ski and onto the skier. Particularly like in this shot, it's coming onto the skier. There's still some kick to the side, but the skier is really doing the movement. The skier tends to be much deeper in the snowpack, and so depth of snow starts to matter more. These are some folks here. They're using an older school technique on modern equipment, which is why they kind of look the way they do, like they're really high up out of the snow. Because this high quality powder skiing technique is designed on not to be used with not wide skis. It was developed on not wide skis. So when you add wide skis to this technique, you get a lot of pop that you maybe don't want. And then you can see these guys. I'm not sure what these guys are doing. This is probably an older school technique. This is more modern technique here. This is just very light snow. One of the things you can tell modern technique is versus old school technique. Old school technique, the chest, just like in mogul skiing, the chest and eyes always are straight down the fall line. So these guys, they're looking straight down the fall line, shoulders in line with the fall line, straight down the fall line, shoulders in line with the fall line. Where you look at the more modern technique and you see a lot more of this upper body rotation. So not straight down the fall line. He's oftentimes they have to initiate with their upper body their turns, and that's exactly what that guy is doing. I guess he's kind of in between, but he's not straight down the fall line. So if you compare that technique to these mogul skiers, again you can see chest and eyes straight down the fall line, feet and knees together, arms in front of the knees or in line with the knees, and that is very similar to this older school powder skiing technique. That body position stuff is very similar. So what we're going to do in these series of videos is we're going to hopefully translate your modern day mogul skiing technique, which carries a lot of these same body elements, to powder skiing, which is more fun, frankly, and a lot easier on your body. When you make a mistake in particular, it's a lot easier on your body. So stay tuned for the series of videos, and for you guys that are very good at mogul skiing, be prepared to try something new and different that I think you'll enjoy if you give it a chance. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video.